Okay, so I was 17, and we grew up in Miami. I don't know how in depth you want me to get.
Yeah, well more
like, what do you mean?
More
Like,
along the lines of did you believe in aliens and UFOs
oh, okay.
and all that stuff while you were growing up?
Well, my mom died when I was 9, which has really nothing to do with any of this, other than the fact that, like, I think that at a young age I was sort of, understood that lots of things happen. So, yeah, I was always open to it, and I would see the stories on TV or documentaries, and, I think I always believed that there were, but I don't think I had, like, a strong belief either way, but I don't think I was ever, I was never cynical about it. I did used to watch The Twilight Zone when that probably was after your time, but it was on TV when I was young, and we would watch it, but, it wasn't like, it was just, we enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything I was, particularly, would run home to watch, but we did watch it. Never got me searching, and it never got me frightened, but they were interesting episodes. Okay, so my girlfriend and I, it was in Florida, so it was hot, so I don't know what time of year it was, and we were somewhere on our way back from her house or the beach maybe, and it was sort of like dusk, so the sun was, the sky was still like blue, but it was like a deep blue. The sun was sort of going down, and we were on a very busy road. It's US 1, which is like one of the main roads in South Florida. It's like one of the main arteries with stoplights. It's not like the turnpike. It's more like, Route 10 would be in New Jersey. My girlfriend was driving, and there was a ton of people on the road next to us. And, it was just a beautiful evening. It was South Florida. It was, the sky was this gorgeous color, and we're minding our business, listening to the radio, and all of a sudden, this white light, you could see this white light, almost like a moon, really far away in the windshield, and the light started coming bigger. It started getting bigger, but it looked like it was coming closer in a way, and I would say that it got to be about the size of, maybe like a silver dollar pancake in the windshield. And as we're like, we didn't even say to each other, whoa, what is that? Because it sort of happened kind of quickly. And then we're like, both of us are staring at this light, and we came almost to a complete stop, and we looked around, and everybody else was stopping too, and everybody in their cars, because there was a lot of people on the road. They were all stopping, and it was like, we're all like, so it's just sitting there. It's not going left, right, the way that people talk about it. It was just sort of sitting there, but it wasn't like stationary. It was sort of like, hovering or whatever. And I would say maybe for 30, 45 seconds, long enough to stop and like look around, and then it just went away. But it went away so quickly, you could tell that it went away, because it got from this to nothing, to minute, and you could see it. Your eye could see it, and it sort of went like that. And there was no denying what that was. I mean, that was just bizarre. I mean, we got out of our car. We were 17. We were girls. We started crying. We didn't know what to do. You didn't have a cell phone. We just wanted to get home and tell my father. And she was taking me home. But we did sort of, I don't remember if we got out of the car, if we rolled down the window, and talked to the people next to us, and we were just all sort of didn't know what to say about it. And we're like, we just saw a UFO. We just saw a UFO. Did you see what I saw? So it was really, it was interesting. It was emotional, but it was cool. I wasn't afraid, but it was very cool. Probably there were chills. I mean, there was definitely some hair-raising, tingling going on, for sure. Yeah. When you see something like that, it's, but nothing that I think that, is sort of, was, affected me from it. It's just my body's reaction to that type of situation. If something like that happened, I wouldn't have noticed, because we were just too, excited to go tell someone. But when we told my father, he didn't believe us. He did not believe us. I've always been very open-minded, but I think that experience helped confirm to me that it's like, that it's okay to be open-minded. I'm not naive. These things happen, and I felt like kind of lucky, actually. I feel kind of lucky, like a little bit like part of a club. You know, it was really, it was quite, you know, it's not an experience that everyone goes through. So, it affected me. I've always remembered it. I've told it to the people that I care most about. I think it would be very cool to have sort of a very similar experience, even with my family, for sure. I think it would be great. But I've heard, you know, seeing a lot of documentaries and watching a lot of television and these, you know, people that are talking about, you know, now it's all a lot more open and scientists are talking. And I heard someone say once that we don't ever want to encounter whatever this is. Like, they can hover and whatever, but they would, you know, they say it's pretty safe to say that, you know, you don't want to really encounter it. So it kind of put a little bit of fear in me. But I think it would be really neat to see again, actually. I don't know why they haven't become more, I think they've become more credible over time, for sure. But no, I think that they will. I think that they will. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that maybe sometimes there are things that you see that you don't really even realize what's going on. And sometimes you look at something and you're like, what is that a plane? Or is that, you know, is that a star? You know, I think that it happens a lot more often than people even realize or even, like, open to. But, yeah, I think it'll become way more credible. I think that just our whole, like, you know, my generation and then your generation, we're just more open-minded about things and we're curious and interested, so... Yeah. No, you know, my final thought is that it was a really intense and cool experience, and I'm glad that it happened, and, you know, and it was really, you know, it was like a moment that I'll never forget. I shared it with my friend, and, you know, and it's just, there's something else out there, you know, and so it confirmed it for me.